Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday's shortened trading week due to the holiday yesterday. Hope everybody who got the day off had a wonderful day. At least you got some time off if you didn't get the day off from the markets. So, yes, futures were still trading, but there was nothing going on. We had the Iowa caucuses last night, so let's see. It's still absolutely freezing here. -7 this morning without the wind chill, over -30 below with the wind chill. Dogs keep getting frozen paw. Can't make it more than about a minute outside for the last 3 days. It's been horrible. Horrible, I tell you. So that sums up my life. How's everyone doing? Welcome back. It's Hey Patrick. Good morning, Legion Reaver. Good morning, Sterling. Good morning, Tony. Yeah, Apple is dropping. Pre-market, not much of a bounce out of Apple. I'll give you my thoughts overall with what I'm watching with the market. Goldman Sachs. Remember, these earnings were dialed down. Now, Goldman Sachs was a beat. Morgan Stanley was a misbeat. Good morning, Heinrich. Hello, Christoph. Good morning, Jacob. Everybody in here. DC Fed workers working from home due to weather. Come on. Jeez. Delightful amount of snow here in Baltimore County. Well, I'm glad it's a delightful amount of snow. I just need this to warm up. I am so tired of this cold. We got snow, but the cold is way worse. The cold is just horrible, especially for the dogs. They don't get it why they have to limp around. What's this? Let's see. There's more Tesla news, but the big thing out this morning: Empire State Manufacturing Index, albeit regional, but this is an absolutely huge miss. I saw this number come out, and I'm like, "What? Is that a typo?" But no, it's not a typo. That's the biggest drop since the huge drop of COVID, and we are not in any lockdowns or shut. So that was shocking. Now, the rest of the day, we got Waller speaking, and we got the 3 and 6 month bill auctions. I'd still pay attention to those for potentially any tail events. That's it. The rest of the week, tomorrow morning, we got retail sales coming out, so that is important. Retail sales still expected to increase at 0.3%. We got Barr, we got Bowman, we got Woods all speaking. We got business inventories. We got industrial production. We got the Fed Beige Book. We got Williams speaking after the Beige Book. Thursday, we got, this is the speaky weeky for the Fed. We got Bostic speaking. Remember, the EIA numbers are delayed until Thursday because of the holiday on Monday. We have the Fed Philly numbers, Philly Fed numbers. We have jobless claims on Thursday as always. We got Bostic speaking again. Friday we got consumer expectations, consumer sentiment, Barr speaking. So, the bigger data this week is actually coming out. I mean, I'm most keying off of retail sales tomorrow. But sort of a mix to down. There we go. Apple now down 2%. Tesla down. Boeing down. Microsoft and Nvidia and AMD are the only things really leading this morning. Let's do a refresh of the groups. Everything red, with basic materials down the most, then consumer cyclical, then financial. Even remember, it's earnings seasons for financial right now. So that is very interesting. Fed Watch still has, unless it's changed in the last couple minutes, we will check to get the most up-to-date data. Still 7 cuts. 7 cuts starting in March. So March is dropping a little bit, but we shall see. It'll be interesting to see what the Fed says this weekend. Fear of greed still in greed mode. All right. So a Goldman, Morgan Stanley, PNC this morning. Not great results out of them. Interactive Brokers after the close today. There's not a lot after the close. Tomorrow we got Schwab, U.S. Bank Corp. Then after the close we start getting on Wednesday Alcoa, Discover. Let's see what else. More things Thursday, more banks, more regional banks on Thursday. And Friday, not much. I mean, there's nothing we're getting the big boys out of the way early. It'll be still interesting to discover with charge-offs to see how that's going. But then next week really starts kicking in the major earnings season. So pay attention to that. All right. All right. Just remind me closer to the end. Let's see. Move to North Carolina, Mike? Well, we might be putting up our home for sale in the next month or so. But we have to then go out west for some family stuff for my wife's family. But we will be getting back out west at least. So then I will not have to deal with this brutal cold, but we shall see. We shall see. By the way, here's what I'm looking at on the macro pattern. I want to go over macro first. So we have daily cycles rolling over. Weekly cycles still headed down. This can be a couple more weeks till they bottom, at least through this week. But if you look at the weekly, so far it's a sideways correction. We do have a double top still in place, at least on the S&P and NASDAQ. Now, if we get to cycle bottoms and this double does not trigger, it will still be a sideways correction. Then I'll start looking to still for another potential rally back to the most recent highs after we see a cycle bottom. Now, if these doubles do trigger with the cycle tops headed down, then I'm really focused on the bigger pullback. That is the key thing I'm watching. This week is going to be very, very important from my perspective. Again, it could go a little into next week, but this is key. If it holds these lows and we get to cycle bottoms and we start rotating back up with these key lows from early January holding, we could be still in consolidation to a retest of the highs again. So that is my macro look. My micro for today, let me do this real quick. Let me do this. We're focused on the purple line, by the way, here. The purple line. If we really start breaking below about 47.86, I'm focused on 47.70 to 47.72, right by the spike low from last Thursday. Then the key line, the sand right now, is 47.53 on a closing basis, not just for today, but for this week. We get that close, then I'm focused for a retest of the low area. So those are the key. But today, it's really if we get weakness below 47.87, 47.86, and it's 47.70 to 47.72. To the upside, we've already tested the key resistance is 4804. We get above there. My bigger target is 4821. But this way, as you see some major consolidation, major resistance overhead in here. Besides any micro patterns that might be setting up. You know, we had this little mini double right here. Just that 15-minute. That all of a sudden worked its way out. So that finished really nicely already. If you're wondering if that's a double top, no, it's not. If it starts breaking below this 47.93 into the open, I'd just be watching for that retest, that 47.87, 47.86 area. If that doesn't hold, then I'd be going to that next target down I mentioned. Oh, yeah, you use the term working lightly for the Fed. I would, for anybody in D.C., I would too. Dollar has broken out to the upside. We're going to take a look at that, my man. Good morning, Options 22. Welcome back. No, I don't like, because, again, I loved the TD Ameritrade stuff too. And Thinkorswim, I have not been happy with the Schwab takeover of everything. Again, see, I do a lot of charting and other stuff. I even have some proprietary stuff, and I'll still use a trading view to do my charting. But my primary trading platform is Interactive Brokers at this point because of what Schwab's going through with TD Ameritrade. So I love, but I don't like some of their platform for still the charting. One of my favorite platforms right now is this TradingView for just doing analysis on. I can do some other analysis, some micro analysis on the other stuff, but this is really just nice platform. NASDAQ, same thing. Cycles heading down on daily and the weekly. Okay? Cycles heading down. Right now, I just want to focus on this real quick. In the short term, after barely missing the 87.5 last week, first key area of resistance is this 16,970, and then 17,050 to the upside. If you get above there, just miss that 87.5, so that's very key resistance right above there. Going into today, about 16,785 to about 16,760 is a support zone. We get below that 16,695 to 16,700. The key line in the sand, if we don't go on to make a new high, or new high since last Thursday, is 16,605. All right. So that's where that sits. By the way, just to go back, if it does start getting above that, especially 1,700 and above 17,000, the key magnet price for 87.5 is still 17,061. The trigger point is from Friday, the 5th, at the low for 16,334 for the major breakdown. So everything I said in the S&P holds true for the NASDAQ. The Dow is in a sideways correction with the rotation zone flattening out. My key breakdown area for the Dow is really about 37,460, 450 area, especially on a closing basis. Then it would be the rollover. So I'm keeping a close eye on that with the Dow. Get through some other stuff today. Russell, very interesting. If we do break below Friday the 5th's lows today, I am focusing on 1925 or the 50 and the 37.5, 50 EMA and the 37.5 harmonic, 1925. We drop below that. My next key level is 1868 roughly. And we could even come down to retest the 200. So I'm really keeping a close eye on this. And by the way, this is a triple bottom. 1, 2, 3. It was a potential double. That got wiped out between Friday's and today's price action. So I am slightly focused if we do break through on this being a continuation with lower prices. VIX, gap up today above a critical level. We'll get into more choppy bullish mode if it starts dropping below 1375. If it starts climbing, the key area is going to be the recent areas around 1450 for a bigger sell-off to occur. Good morning, Lauren. Sterling loves tasty trade. Well, there you go. DAX. Your DAX, really pay attention to Friday's lows also. Could now never get the close back above the 62.5 and rolling over into a multi-bottom pattern. If it does start breaking, the next magnet area is about 16,400 to 16,450 into an advanced clear path move. But that would be the first key target. It's so far holding up, but that's where I'm watching. On any rally, your next resistance is about 16,725. The notes, we'll take a closer look at the yield. But this is just a mess right now. So I'm focusing more on the yield. The yield back above 4. We've already chipped away at that 200. Again, 4.05 is key on the yield. We start getting above 4.05 on a closing basis. I'll watch for a quick run to about 4.15. So I'm watching the focus on this yield to see what happens there. But 4.05 is very key on the yield. The 10-2s, Trying to climb a bit into very key resistance at this -8 basis points. So pay attention, keep paying attention, especially with Friday's move up. Keep paying attention to this yield. And it's still a steepening bear for me. I know people are saying, well, based off of how it's steepening, this would be a steepening bull. If we start really breaking above zero, this is going to put a lot of pressure on the markets, especially getting above 25 basis points. Yes, it can always be a one-off, but I'm not seeing it yet. And remember, we still have the huge monthly double that has triggered, which easily could take us to positive 50 basis points, which is really going to put pressure on the market from my perspective. Dollar index, which my man brought up. Very good watching the dollar, even if you don't trade it. Coming into a reconnection with the 200 area. We start breaking above about 103. 103.60 is the 50% retracement from this last sell-off. So that, and we have very key resistance. So I'm going to be focusing really at this 103 level now with this rally today. Key support coming back in about 102.30. Crude is a mess. Crude is just in an extended, tried to break out on Friday with a weak close, a little sell-off today. This is in a sideways consolidation. Still, no weekly close below the 200. I'm still watching this 71 area for any close on the week. Other than that, waiting to get out of this congestion. Anything in here would just be very scalpy micro trades. Natty gas, keep an eye. We do have a potential double top in here. It looks like it confirmed this morning. So we'll be looking to see if it closes below 294.5. Then it could trigger a bigger pullback. But so far it's confirmed but not triggered. Gold, still not a lot going on. We're watching for the percent B. Nothing's triggered, though. Friday did not close above the high. No follow-through. What else do we have? Yen has now, even though I talked about last Thursday, raising the stop, little pullback to the rotation zone, little prior resistance becoming support. Official stop raise now, hit the official thing. Next key targets. To really watch this 62.5 area. Not only is it the second target for the double, 147.35 is roughly the thing I'm watching for a closing basis, because that could keep running higher than even beyond the final double target. So I'm really paying attention to that. But that's still running up right there. Now the official farthest away, just for complete transparency's sake, it's about 142.66 is the farthest away stop at this point to invalidate the pattern. Euro breaking down this morning. Again, that dollar rally, euro breaking down. If we really start taking out the Friday's lows, retest that 200. But more importantly, if that breaks through that 200, it could easily return to 107.95. So I'm really seeing where this closes today. Nothing going on at the pound still. The spiders also still has the potential double top in here. The spider still has the potential double top. Today, where'd my purple line go? Purple line, there it is. All right, today 474.65 going at the open. 475.40 the first level. Then we're looking at the gap fill on any rally to 476.68. The support levels, 474 is very key. 474. Then the 50% harmonic. And by Thursday the 11th's low, coming in about 472.40, 472.50. The key line, the sand, 470.99 on a closing basis. And the double still is intact.
So that's the stuff. Really, if we start any rally, it would be to Friday's low and then the gap fill. Above there, you've got major resistance 477.55 to 477.86. The Qs, after the Qs tapped the 87.5, so the Qs did fulfill that. Gapping down 407.71. 408.15 is the first area of resistance, and 409.56 for the gap fill. Then my key resistance is around 410.75 area. For support at this point, we take a look here real quick. Hold on. Let me do this first. Let me flip this around. Flip this. 407.25. Then I'd be looking at about 405.30 to 405.50, and then 403.20, and your major line in the sand is 401.31. Bitcoin, again, could not get above the 62.5. Spiking up there, no close above there. Back into the major consolidation area. So after the ETFs officially released, still stuck down back in consolidation. Tesla, Friday closing below the key support level. Lowest close since Monday, the mid-November. All right, this is breaking down. Remember, the double was never stopped out. So I'm still watching for further downwards pressure. Key resistance is now 231 to 232 on any rally. Flipping it in the short term, though, come on, there we go. Where the minor magnet price is 212, the major magnet price is 202.95. What do we have? We wanted, let's see, what is this? Legion Reaver. Seems the trend is more hey Mike, I've noticed on major report days the market seems to dip then recover. Is that the downside protecting people are still buying options for? There's still, again, I think it's more, there's still not a lot of downside protection, but it's still, you got a lot of buy the dip still mentality going on. Buy the dip, especially with the projected 7 rate cuts. It's buy it. Fed's going to start cutting and save everything this year. I think it's more due to any weakness is still being bought. So what else do we want? We wanted, was it Adobe? What was it? I forgot. Who had that? Sorry. Where was it? Put it back in. I missed where I'm. All right. Adobe, ADBE weekly. And then we'll get to some ADBE. Adobe, after hitting the second target from the double, let me just clean up the chart so you can see it now. The second target from the double did have a weekly percent B buy. That would be a weekly percent B buy. So keep that in mind. The stop for that would have to be, which would also take it below the weekly rotation zone. So my stop, and I don't have a position in here, 563.30, somewhere below 563.34 would be where I would personally do a stop. And this has not, by the way, the official stop on the double. Did I go the wrong way again? Yes, I did. The official stop on the double would be 607.43. So I'd pay a very close eye with the still. Now you have a percent B buy against a still unfinished double. So the key area I'd be looking at is the 607.43. Okay, but that is a valid percent B buy coming out of the rotation zone also. Where else do we have? What else do we have? Where else? What else did I miss? I know I missed some other. You're welcome, Warren. That's a very good question. UNH. UNH is nicely formed, confirmed daily, weekly double top, which would take it back to 62.5 retracement area. Confirmed, not yet triggered. Let's flip these around. Let's take a look. Yeah, that could. So it is confirmed. Last week did not trigger it. Last week did not trigger it. So you still need the close below 515.87. But that could easily take it back to the 62.5 area. So again, yeah, let's take a look at that daily. Coming down on Friday, confirming it. And remember, I'd be waiting for not a downwards, I mean a downwards close. So if it breaks below here again, I'd need a downward close, not an upward close. If it gaps down and then closes up, wait for a downward close. Let's just take a peek at the open. Sorry, it ran a little long today. Let's take a peek at the open. All right, so you got this 4804, 4805 area key resistance going in the open, 4794. We break below that 4786 to 87 area. Let's see where the tick opened. Everybody have a fantastic day. Tick opened pretty negative, so start watching to see if it starts getting a pretty bounce above minus 600 going and then continuing above minus 400 is the first area I'm watching with key support. If we start rolling over again, then I'll be watching for the breakdown. Oops. With that, so we've bounced up back to the key resistance area. Triple top right now, trying to break through that. So keep an eye on that tick for continued follow through. With that, I shall talk to everyone later. Have a wonderful trading day. See you all tomorrow. Bye for now.